Right, I'm hoping this is going to be quite polished because I've just spent 17.5 minutes recording it with the sound off. So, second try, let's hope it goes well. I'm going to try and beat 17.5 minutes as well because I'm tired and impatient. Ira, irai. English words irate and ire are related to this. It means anger. Next, aratus, arata, aratum. This is the first example on this page of two words relating to each other, which makes life easier for you. It's the related adjective. It means angry. Okay, in English, irate will be a similar adjective. If you describe someone as irate, they're angry. If they have ire, that's a noun. They have anger. Next, is, ea, id. I spent ages talking about this in the previous video that you won't ever see. So it means this, that, he, she, it. It also gives you them, which you can't see here. I don't know why it gives you them rather than they. But anyway, so watch the Latin tutorial video on this. I've linked it on Firefly as well. So watch that. Is, id, this, that, he, she, it. Note that it says it's a pronoun, but this and that are effectively adjectives. So, for example, this cat, that dog, this table, those sheep. Okay? Whereas he, she, it, they, or their equivalent accusative, etc. forms are like a bit like ille, ila, alot, and they can mean something like he, she, or it, basically take place of a word for those. Cicero uses it all the time, for example. But yeah, for more information, watch the Latin tutorial video. It's about 6 minutes long. Then we've got three more words that are kind of related. Ita, in this way, so. Itawero, yes. Itaque, and so, therefore. We'll start with itaque because it's the most obvious one. You've already seen that ita means in this way or so, so it's so. And you've seen previously how que means and. Okay, so and so makes sense, and so basically means therefore in English. I'm going to have a bite of a Jaffa cake. Itawero's a bit harder to explain. Kind of means so, or in this way. And then wero is like the adverb, basically means truly. And so truly I shall do this. Yes, I shall do this. It's basically how it works. Okay. Next, itineraris. Yeah, I haven't missed one. Means journey, route, or way. It's a neuter noun, hence it's been highlighted, pre-highlighted because I've made the video once already. An itinerary is an English word related to this. An itinerary basically means a planned route or journey. So for example, if you go on a school trip, you might have an itinerary of the things you're going to do, and they're the things you're going to do along your journey. Last bite of the Jaffa cake. Iterum. Sorry if I missed one. No, I haven't. Cool. Iterum means again. It's an adverb. I haven't highlighted it. I'm not going to do any more highlighting. Iterum, again. English word, reiterate, is where you make a point again for emphasis, usually. Similarly, iteration. So if you had a car, you built a car, and you had your first model, and you thought, this is my first model of a car. Then you built a new car, which was based on the first model, but was improved. That would be your second iteration of said car. Actually related to a Latin word, italo, which means do a second time, or do again, or repeat, or renew. Hence English words reiterate and iteration. Next, eubeo, eubere, iusi, iusus means order. There's also a noun, iusus, which is an order. No, eubeo, eubere, despite being a commanding word, does not do indirect commands with an ut or ne if it's negative, and a subjunctive. No, it does not. It's easier than that. It uses an accusative and an infinitive, okay, which is easy. For example, if I was to say I order a slave or the slave to prepare food, eubeo, there's your verb. Servum, accusative, a slave or the slave. Parare, infinitive, to prepare, and then kibum, food. It's just like the English. Next, euinis, euinis, and euinis, euinis. Okay, these are quite clearly related. They're exactly the same, sort of. The first one, as you can see, is the noun. It's masculine. It's third declension. Means young man. So when it's a noun, it's going to mean a young man. However, when it's an adjective, youiness, it just means young. English word juvenile. Juvenile comes from this. Next, laboris means work, and the related verb laboro, laborare, laboravi means work. What a surprise! English word labour. So easy. Next, lacrimo, lacrimare, lacrimavi means weep or cry. The noun lacrima is a tear. You might occasionally see that. I think we've seen it before. There are lots of Romance descendants which are related to this, but nothing in English, I don't think. Next, lightus, lighta, lightum, a more usual 2-1-2 adjective. It just means happy. Again, not a huge amount I can say to help you with this, however, you've probably seen it lots before. Next, latus, lata, latum means wide. Okay, and I can help you with this. The English word latitude is in the width or the lines that go across the globe on a map, for example, or what far across laterally, the other word related to this, the planet you are. Okay, so lateral, laterally, latitude, all these words come from this. The Latin latus means side or flank, so the noun. So for example, the flank of an army. Next, laudo, laudare, laudavi, laudatus is a first conjugation verb, and it means praise. You should know this already, as it says here. You missed it in chapter 2 of the Cambridge Latin course. English word Lord, not as in like oh Lord, like God, but as in Lord, as in you praise someone, Laud, spelled the same way. Or something that's laudatory, which is something that praises something, adjective, that is, are all related to this. Okay, next we have legatus, legati, which means commander. I've also added on the Quizlet set ambassador. Okay, it can also mean legate, which is an English word that comes from this. And it looks basically the same. Next we've got two kind of related words again. Legio, legionis, which means legion. Very easy to realise that's from legio, legionis. And then lego, legere, legi, lectus, which means read or choose. Okay, so we'll go back to legion briefly. I said they're related, because they're kind of collected together. A legion is collected together. This is where lego, legere, legi, lectus, we get the word collect from. Okay, similarly, select. These are words basically. It's coming from this fourth principal part with a prefix. So collect is so it's like chosen and con together. So if you collect, you've been chosen together. We come together. Other words that are related to lego, legere, legi, lectus. Legible. If something is legible, it is able to be read. Okay, so legible, collect and select are all related to this verb, which means read or choose. Next you've got lente, adverb, meaning slowly. Okay, French lent, L-E-N-T, means slow. The adjective in Latin is lentus, lentar, lentum. Can't really help you with English, I'm afraid, but slowly, lente. Next, libenter means willingly or gladly, another adverb. Although it comes from a Latin verb, I'm not really going to mention it now, so I'm not going to say a huge amount about that. And then we have, then we have liberi, liberorum. Tells you here, it is masculine plural, okay? It is masculine plural. So this could refer to a group of children that has all boys. It could also refer to a group of children that has boys and girls. However, if you had a group of children that were all little girls, or just girls, then it would be liberi, liberarum, okay? Makes quite sense. In the same way, you could have a domina, mistress, and a dominus, master. Okay, next we have two related words, libero, liberare, liberavi, liberatus, which is a verb meaning free or set free, and libertus, liberty, which means freed man or ex-slave. Okay, the adjective liber as well means free. English words liberate are related to this, so it's all quite easy. Next we've got locus, loci, simple second declension noun. That's masculine. It means place, and again we have lots of words in English related to this. Locate, location. Locative, for example, Romi, which means at Rome. It's a case in Latin that's quite rare. Even locus exists, not as in locust, the insect, but locus is to do with a place, often medically. Also the English word local, although it's technically from the Latin adjective localis, locale, which means local or belonging to a place, which is obviously related to locus, loci. So your local shop, for example, is the shop that belongs to your place. Next, longus, longar, longum means long, easy peasy, English from the Latin. Next, loquor, loqui, locutus sum, we did these quite recently. This is a deponent verb, it means speak, it's third conjugation. If you are loquacious, you speak a lot. If you have elocution lessons, that's because you're learning how to speak more clearly or better. Next, quite an interesting one, lux lucis means light or daylight. If you watch the show Lucifer, so Lucifer itself means the bringer of light, and his nightclub, I guess kind of ironically, was called Lux, which means light. We've met set phrases before to do with this, prima luce, which means at dawn or daylight. Similarly, ad lucem means at dawn or at dawn. English word translucent is related to this. Trans, we've seen before, it's kind of a cross, hence through, and the verb luceo means shine. So if light shines through something, it is translucent. We're nearly there. Magna pere is related to the next word as well. So magna pere is an adverb meaning greatly or very much. It's actually a mix of two words, magnus and opus. Okay, and then they're kind of in the ablative case, and we've talked about how ablative words can often be used to form adverbs. So if you take magno and opere, it means with great, and then opus means work or hence labour. So with great work or with great labour, or from great work or from great labour, hence greatly or very much. Then you get magnus, magna, magnum, meaning big, large or great. You should know this already. But the English word magnify, for example, comes from this. When you magnify something, you make it big. We talked about how the phi can mean effectively make. Previously we've talked about, what's an example? Stultify, make stupid. That's not a great example. Brain's gone dead. But it doesn't matter. You see my point. It's from it's to do with facio, or is it fio? It's actually fio, fieri. But anyway. Next, maior, maius, as it says, it's an irregular comparative. It means bigger, larger, or greater. It's also related to these. English word major comes from this. You've seen it before, or you should know about how the I in Latin often turns into a J in English. Hence, something like Julius instead of Julius. Okay, the Spanish island Mallorca is the big one compared to its nearby island Menorca. Okay, the little one. And then you can see English words major and majority come from this. So if you've got the bigger proportion of a group of people, you have the majority of those people. Two to go. Malus, mala, malum means evil or bad. English word malign comes from this. So if you have a benign tumour, that's sad because you've got cancer. We talked about benign tumours before, which weren't cancerous. Just malign generally is a negative word to do with bad. Then you could think about French. If mal means bad in French, if you say ça va mal, that means you're not feeling very good. And the last word, maneur. Manere mansi means remain or stay, second conjugation verb. English word remain is quite clearly from this, or more literally it's from remanere, which means to remain or stay behind, because of the re kind of meaning back. More interestingly, if you go to a manor, as in like a country house, manor is from this, because a manor was a place to stay. It was a staying place, so that's where the word manor comes from. And also the French manoir means to stay or remain. Okay, I'm assuming this video lasted less than 17 minutes because I was speaking more quickly. I hope it's useful and that you enjoyed.